welcome to the Best Day of Your Life podcast with Susannah Sprague. That is me. Today, we have a super special guest. This lovely lady here to my left is my mom.
That's where she gets it from.
Yeah. So I thought it'd be a nice segue from last week's episode where I told you where it all came from. I thought, well, my mom's actually in town. She's since moved to Florida, but she's here. She's here with her boyfriend, and they're, just on a trip. So I thought, oh, it'd be perfect to have her come into the studio. And I know you guys will find her super interesting, even though I've heard her stories 1,000 times. None of you have. So, her whole vibe in life and her gratitude and her, finding joy and all of that fits right into the idea of the show and the concept of the show where I and my various guests discuss how to how each person individually finds joy each day. How do you make each day your best day, and how do you improve from yesterday and all of that? So this lady right here really knows how to do that through adversity and challenges and upsets. And there's this concept of the second mountain, right, where the first mountain is like all the stuff you think you're going to do, and you reach the top of it, when you're in your 20s or maybe even in your 30s. And then you have some sort of fall from that mountain, and you have to like reevaluate who you are and, really rebuild from there. And so I think my mom's probably had like 10 mountains. I don't know. So just a little quick bio, and actually, I'm just going to let her tell because she's here. So instead of me telling you what she does or who she is. So, yeah, I have some cool questions at the end, but I would just love for you to talk about you and like where you came from and some of the cool things you've done, because we're in the city that you built half of, so we'll get to that, what I mean by building. Not figuratively, but like really with her hands and a welding machine. So we'll get to that. So
We'll get to
yeah, just tell us a little bit like about what was your childhood like?
Oh my goodness. Well, I was born in New Jersey, and we moved to Sarasota, Florida when I was 6 months old. I'm the youngest of 5 children, 3 boys and 2 girls. And I was born Christmas Eve. And so we moved to Sarasota, Florida. It's just a small little beach town, which I just adored when I was growing up. I was in a circus. Well, it was a circus in town.
There's a circus in your high school. Your high school had its own, like part of the PE, right?
It's a circus that all the performers were school-age children from first grade to 12th grade. You had to be 6 years old, and you can only stay in it until you're 18.
But it's like an extracurricular thing.
No.
Oh.
No, it didn't. It was on the school grounds.
Oh, but it wasn't part of the school.
No.
I got it.
No.
What did you do in the circus?
It is now. I learned how to walk a high wire when I was 9.
Which would come in handy later.
Comes in handy, and that was probably part of the training that God had in store for me for some reason.
Yeah.
Taught me how to do that. Gunther Walenda of the famous Walenda brothers taught me how to walk a high wire when I was 9. And it was amazing. That was just something that you did. It was just something that just came second nature to me. I always wanted to do it. When I was the only one out of all of his kids that wanted to be in the circus, because it was just exciting. I don't know, I guess I've been an adrenaline junkie all my life.
Yeah.
Without even knowing what that is. So I was a trapeze performer. They actually made a movie. I think it was probably 1972. They filmed a movie called The Greatest Little Show on Earth, and I was in that. Actually, this circus, it's not like the circuses that come into your town and leave. It's a righteous 3-ring circus like Ringling Brothers, because it's a part of John Ringling is part of Sarasota, and that's where this is a branch off of. It was just a local thing. And the best years of my life growing up was being involved in that, because I was always very athletic, always wanted to be climbing around. That was it for me, and that I was departed from everybody else in my family. They just looked at me like, oh, okay. Sue's off doing that.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and it was fun. And then I graduated high school, and
How'd you make
I
it out here?
I needed to get away myself. I have a gypsy spirit supposedly, and just wanted to. I couldn't stay in Sarasota anymore. I just it got too small for me, and I was going out with a fella that was coming out here to play football,
Mhm.
and yeah, I want to go. And so I left my mother a note. I graduated high school,
Yeah.
and I left my mother a note. It
I'll
said,
bet
"I'm
she loved that.
going to California. I'll call you when I get there." I
I
was
bet she
17.
wasn't totally surprised.
No, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. She had like I lost my father when I was young, too, and she sacrificed her whole life to raise us kids. And
Yeah.
then when I got into high school, she had met someone, and that's one of the reasons why I said it was okay for me to go, because if she hadn't found someone, I
Mhm.
wouldn't have left her
Yeah.
by herself. I would have stayed with her because we were really close when we were young.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you guys remained close
yeah,
until
yeah,
she passed. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Pretty
Yeah.
close. You know,
You were her.
your mom's, your mother's always your mother.
Yeah.
And there's nothing can get between that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you
mother
made
love.
it out here with a
Hmm.
boyfriend.
With a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Went to
Across the United States.
yeah,
What year was
in
that?
1976.
Mm?
Yeah, I was 17. We drove across in a Chevy Nova with an 8-track tape, and yeah, that was it was. But
I'm
we
surprised
just
the Nova made it that
yeah,
far.
me too. I think it was just will to get there, get there, get
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And then
Hmm.
we got here, and I enrolled in college at Mount Sac right away, and continued on doing that. Me and him lasted for about 6 months, and he moved back to Florida, and I
Mm.
stayed here because
So he was just a ride,
yeah, it was
basically. That's nice.
yeah. I
Yeah.
never thought of it that way, but yeah, yeah, he was just a ride, and I stayed, and I graduated college in 1981. Excuse me, with an associate's degree, a 2-year degree.
Yeah.
I wanted to teach physical education,
Yeah.
and if anybody remembers, back in the dark ages in 1981, the people of the state of California voted for Proposition 13, which made physical education an elective. And
Mm.
so I didn't know what else to do from there.
Yeah.
I just felt like you know, the floor dropped out from underneath me. So I bounced around from job to job to job, and and
How'd you find yourself in Calico Ghost Town?
a bluegrass festival.
On bluegrass.
It was a
See,
bluegrass festival.
I think I said a jazz festival or
No, you
something.
did say
Okay.
bluegrass. You said
Oh, did I
bluegrass.
said bluegrass? All right.
Yeah, and I was out there with a couple of friends. I had a Baja Bug that I drove out there, and it's in the middle of the desert. Anybody that knows where Calico Ghost Town is, it's in the middle of the desert. And I think they probably still have that bluegrass festival out there.
Probably. I don't know.
Mm. And I saw your father. Well, wasn't your father yet,
Yeah. Yeah.
but he was there with. He had some dogs with him, some little bull terrier dogs,
Mm.
and I fell in love with the dogs. And then we just started talking, and I gave him my phone number, and I was still in school then. It was probably 1980 that we
Mhm.
met, and yeah, so we talked on the phone. He was very charming, and I fell head over heels
He's pretty good
in love.
looking too.
Very,
You know, so
hot
tall,
stuff.
dark, and handsome.
And very charming.
All 6'5" of him. You know, jeez.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
yeah. He's
Black curly hair.
very imposing, very
Mhm.
imposing, but a sweetheart. I loved, and we loved each other. It was yeah. I fell in love with his dogs, but he
Yeah.
had to come along with the dogs. So
Yep.
yeah, and then
And that lasted
not
just not, yeah, a
not
little
long.
bit after. How long after I was born did you guys split up?
Oh well, we kind of split up when you were 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just we weren't. I don't know. It just wasn't meant to be. I think that God got us together to make you,
Yeah.
because you
And
were.
and isn't that reason enough?
Yeah. It's God's honest truth.
Yeah.
I am. Because we met, and then we moved in together, and we lived up in Running Springs in 1981, and we both wanted you. We both wanted to have a child together, and you were conceived up in Running Springs, and it was like in October of 81, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
No, you were born in June of 82, so it had to be before that. Sorry, I don't know my
It's
that
alright.
on the
It's
9
alright.
months. Yeah, but anyway,
We don't have to get into the
no,
conception.
no. Yeah, y'all grown up.
Yeah.
Anyway, went to Florida. We came back down to Florida
Mhm.
just to try something different, and that didn't really work out. And he came back out to California, and I stayed to visit my family, and you were with me and stuff, and there was a lot of stuff that went on, but we just we weren't meant to be together,
Yeah.
for whatever reason, personalities or what. But we both adored you. You're such a pretty baby, and
Not much has changed.
no,
So,
no,
yeah.
you were born in San Bernardino. You were born
Yep.
at St. Bernardine's.
At the same hospital he was born at.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know.
yeah. It's the strangest thing. It's funny how worlds come alive. My parents were out here
Mhm.
when before any of us were born, but my dad was stationed in San Diego.
Mm.
He was in the Navy, and yeah, they were. Oh, were they married? They might have been married
Mm.
in the county of San Bernardino. In San
Really?
Bernardino, yeah.
I know, it's funny how
Weird. Yeah,
all the
yeah.
like, the
It's so
stars and
weird.
all the things go together. Yeah.
Yeah, because who would know that I was going to end up here, and then
Yeah.
I created this life, and I created a life for myself, and me and
No.
your dad, broke apart, and but we still pretty much remained united where you were concerned.
Yeah,
There
for
was
the most
some,
I mean, it's yeah.
there
It's
was,
how Corey and I are,
yeah,
I mean, we're pretty united in the
hmm,
idea of Zen,
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, we don't see eye to eye on everything, but we
No,
didn't when we were married
no,
either,
no.
so, it's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just two different worlds. You get thrown together, and your parents are who your parents are, and
Yeah.
you try and make the best for your kids, no
Yeah.
matter what. Really, as far as I was concerned, I was never going to keep you from him.
Yeah.
Never, uh, you know. And then his unfortunate death came
Yeah,
about.
what was that like for you?
Well,
I know what it was like for me.
well, it
What's it
was
like
it
for
was
you?
that was 1991.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I already was on to my another chapter in my life. But we only kept in touch for you.
Yeah.
And he was living in Santa Cruz, and you were living with him,
Mhm.
because he made the decision to live up there close to his family. His mother was living up there and stuff, and I had to weigh between you growing up in San Bernardino or you growing up in Santa Cruz, and that was just a no-brainer.
Yeah, no
I didn't
brainer.
want you growing
Yeah.
up in San Bernardino.
Yeah.
Nothing against San Bernardino, but that's not where I wanted my
Yeah.
daughter to be
Yeah.
raised. And he assured me that he would send you down
Mhm.
every chance. I mean, every time that I wanted to see you, he'd send you down. And he kept his word on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You're always she she would fly by herself. She's
I was like 4 years old.
3, 4 years
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
We'd put you on a plane. What at in Santa?
No, out in Ontario.
Well, I know, but he put you on the plane up there.
Oh yeah,
It was
San
only an
Jose.
hour flight,
Yeah.
an
Yeah. Yeah.
hour flight.
Mhm.
So we would, um, you, we would be in touch with your dad at the airport, and let's see, we would already be in San Bernardino. I mean,
Mhm.
in Ontario, waiting for you.
Mhm.
But and the same thing that before we put you on a plane to go back home, he had to be sitting in that
Yeah.
airport waiting for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
It's only hour
Yeah.
flight, so he can sit for an hour.
Yeah.
You sit
Yeah.
there and wait. And there was a couple of times that didn't happen, and you would be so disappointed because you'd want to go see your dad, and
Yeah.
well, I'm just not going to do it.
Well,
What
I
if
mean, I think the
what if,
welfare of your child
well,
comes
well, what if
first.
what if something happened
Yeah.
and he couldn't wait? I'm on my way there, but you're not there yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something happens and you're not. Who's going to take care of
Yeah,
my
I mean
daughter?
that would be a scary thing for a little girl, but I was pretty
It was,
I
it was
was an
scary for us too.
avid flyer.
Yeah.
I
You,
wish I had frequent flyer miles from back then because
I have pictures of you in my head
yeah,
of you in Ontario. You used to walk. You'd be able to walk out to the plane,
yeah,
and here you coming off this plane. You got the stewardess by the hand, and you're just just this little girl coming off this big plane. It didn't phase you.
yeah,
Didn't
yeah.
phase you. You had this down, man.
So back to my question,
Mm.
what was it like for you when he died?
When he died,
Yeah, I mean, how'd you?
I was afraid for you mostly.
Yeah, in what
You
ways?
know, um, I didn't. Being without your dad. I mean,
And you know what that's like,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I lost my dad when I was 9, and
Mm-hmm.
I was so afraid for you that I didn't want the things that befell me growing up to happen to you, and I just I made a point for those things not to happen to you. You know,
Mhm.
my mother, God bless her, she did the best she could. When my father died, we weren't ever allowed to mention his name again. It was
Yeah.
like he never existed. And so it created a problem with my self-esteem. You know, it's
Mhm.
like, if he was that bad of a person, what does that make me?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and she didn't let us love him or miss him or any of that.
Or
It
even bring
was
him up.
ever,
Yeah.
ever, ever. And it affected me deeply, not so much anybody else.
Mhm.
I always wanted to know the answers. I always wanted to get to the bottom of the situation, and I never did get it. She
Yeah.
passed away.
Yeah.
And but I could do something about that.
Mhm.
I wasn't gonna have you grow up and have those self-esteem problems. I didn't experiment with you. I wanted to make sure that you stayed in touch with his grandparents. You
Mhm.
knew his family.
Mhm.
You knew that your dad loved you.
Mhm.
That the sun rose and set on you,
Mhm.
and it's important.
Yeah,
You know, God
definitely.
gives you two parents. You need both of them, I think, to make a whole person.
Yeah.
You know, and he's that part's gone
Yeah.
now.
Mhm.
The only thing that you have is his memory and his family and those people that loved
Yeah.
him and can
And she's still
impart.
around too,
Yeah,
lady. She's
yeah,
gonna be 100 years old, my grandmother,
yeah.
on in
I
October.
know, it's
I
so
know, it's
great,
great.
so
She's
great.
awesome.
She's beautiful.
She
She's the
is.
most.
She's
She's hair that's
she's
Snow
white,
White
just beautiful white hair,
and
big lips, and she's just gorgeous.
rosy red lips.
I
I'm not
know.
kidding you.
Yeah,
She's just
I know.
she's stunning for 100 years old.
She's lived through quite a bit. She was born in 1921 and just has seen everything. So,
Phew, 1921.
maybe I'll interview her on
No
her 100th birthday.
kidding. That'd be so
It
great.
would
It'd
be
be great.
cool.
She's something else. She's a real pistol.
Not sure how we could
Yeah.
do that, but
Yeah.
maybe not. I don't know. So,
Anyway.
I'd love to hear about something really interesting. I think people will find fascinating is the line of work that you
Oh my
chose, or
goodness.
maybe the line of work that chose you, because
Mm,
it kind of the way
it
it
did.
fell into your life. So
It did. It did.
tell
Huh.
people what you do, what you did for a
Well,
living for so long.
okay. I just wanted to finish up about
Oh,
the thing with your dad.
okay.
You had someone that came into your life, that came into my life also,
Mm-hmm.
that's still in your life today,
Mm-hmm.
who helped raise you
Yeah.
and made you the woman that you are. It was always there for you, and it's still there for you today. I just wanted to
Yeah.
put him in there,
Yeah.
you know, because
He knows who he is.
yeah, I just wanted to do
Yeah.
that because he deserves that kind of
Yeah.
recognition anyway, you
He
know.
does.
And anyway, so what I did for a living, I'm retired now, but um, in 1980, probably 85, I was looking for some direction to go, and uh, this fella I was living with had a friend that was an iron worker, and he showed me his paycheck, you know, and I said, well, how do I get some of that?
Uh-huh.
I want to get some of that. And he goes, well, all you got to do is go to school, learn how to weld, and join the union. And
Oh, is that all?
it was crazy. It was
So in 1986, when you actually became a female ironworker
yeah,
in
in
California,
Los
how
Angeles,
many were there?
8,
Eight.
maybe
So
8.
you're one of eight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cool. And in the United States, how many were there?
Back then,
Yeah, maybe
maybe,
100 total?
maybe, yeah,
Maybe.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, maybe.
What do you think that number is today?
Oh goodness,
Ballpark.
thank goodness it's a lot,
Yeah.
a lot.
Thousands.
Thousands,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's a lot. It's a different world, you know. It's a
It
lot.
is. The
Doors are
indies and
open.
yeah,
Mm.
women in the construction world,
Yeah,
not real welcoming, I would
no,
imagine.
no.
Welcoming, but in a like you're a
What's
novelty. Like it's
it's
not a you're not one of the boys.
no.
What'd you have to do to earn your place there with the boys?
Just do your job, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, you let a lot of stuff go because how bad do you want to do something? You know, I mean, I didn't, I didn't, I didn't betray myself, but I knew the world that I was walking
Mm-hmm.
into. I lovingly say it's a white man, redneck, macho crowd,
Yeah.
and it was, especially back then.
Oh yeah.
They didn't want any part of me. I was some 110 skinny little girl that said, "Here I am. I want to be a welder," and you know, they just,
I can imagine
you
it.
know, I
Yeah.
mean, I didn't even have, well, I shouldn't say, I didn't have a sponsor. You're supposed to have a sponsor that's going to put you to work for 6 weeks. And I didn't, but the fellows at my union hall put down that my sponsor was ABC Steel 2057 at South Atlantic, which was our union hall at that point
Mm.
in the City of Commerce. But they let me join. They probably said, "Oh, this ought to be fun. We'll
Yeah,
throw her
yeah.
out there and
A little science experiment.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah,
Entertaining one. Let's
and
watch her crash and
yeah,
burn.
exactly.
So how long did you weld for?
35 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. That's
yeah.
like a
I just retired in 2019.
hmm. What
Yeah,
are some so we're in Los Angeles right
yeah,
now,
yep.
filming this,
Hmm.
recording this. What are some of the
Big jobs.
big jobs that you've done here?
I got yeah.
Name
Um,
them all. Name them all. We got time.
Staples Arena.
Yeah.
I worked on the Walt Disney Concert Hall.
Uh-huh.
I worked on a few convention centers,
Mhm.
Los Angeles Convention Center. Um,
Any of the high rises in downtown?
uh, what's the name of it?
There's a bank one. Wasn't it a bank one?
I can't remember. It's not named that anymore. It was
Hmm.
First Interstate Building.
Oh, that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah.
Yeah.
Back then there was. It doesn't look like it did now.
Mm-hmm.
They've been busy since I've been gone for 5 years. There's a lot of new buildings,
Yeah.
but yeah, the First Interstate Building was um, about the tallest one back then in 1986 when I got in because I was working outside of town and you could see downtown and
Yeah.
there was only a few high
Yeah. Yeah.
rises.
Yeah.
The Library Square building was going up. I was working at a cogen downtown and watched that building go up. But I didn't get a chance to work on this 74 story. I wish
Yeah.
I would have. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would have loved that.
What was it like working on the Walt Disney Concert Hall,
Oh,
for example? That's because it's such an iconic building
yeah,
here in Los Angeles.
it is.
It is so interesting to just look at from the outside. Um, and it's just iconic here
I love
in
it.
LA.
Yeah.
So what was that like to be? Were you there the whole time?
The whole time I
Mm.
worked there, probably 4 years, worked for 4 different iron outfits. Herrick, Eagle Iron. Uh, I worked for Permis Dewisa, who did the stainless steel skin on
Mm-hmm.
back.
Which that skin is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the neat thing
Mm-hmm.
about me and that job, Gil Garcetti, if anybody remembers Gil Garcetti, he used to be our mayor. After he lost his job, he's an amateur photographer, and he
Mm-hmm.
just was driving by one day and he saw these people crawling around on this iron, and he stopped and took some pictures, and that started a whole. He came back, took more pictures, and they let him on the job site, and he did
Mm.
close-ups and got to know a bunch of us,
Mm-hmm.
and he took a bunch of those pictures and compiled them into a book called Iron, the construction of the Walt Disney Concert Hall, and had all of our pictures in it. Stuff
Mm-hmm.
you've seen it,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a big deal for me. And then I'm talking to him on the phone after the job was completed. He goes, "They're putting the book on display at the National Building Museum in Washington D.C." And I'm all, "That's so cool! That's so
Yeah.
cool!"
Yeah.
And he's going, "Guess who's opening the exhibit?" I said, "Who?" And he goes, "Bill Clinton." And I said, "I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm going to be there." And he goes, "Okay." And so my mom paid for my trip to go, and I'm down there, and they take us into the National Building Museum, and we're all doing this meet and greet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Clinton's supposed to be coming in with his entourage, and we're all standing there. I'm standing there with my president of my international, which
It's like a celebrity in your world. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and for somebody like me
Mm-hmm.
that comes from a little town in Florida called Fruitville, to be in Washington D.C. to meet these people,
Mm-hmm.
I was walking on air,
Yeah.
and then
But you weren't just meeting people just to meet people. These people that are so interesting were there to appreciate what you
yeah,
do. That's different than you just meeting these cool people.
yeah,
You can meet people all day, but
yeah,
if those people are there to
the-
see you
yeah.
and what you do, obviously it's not just what you do,
right. What we do for.
but you are involved in the thing that they're interested in. So then what happened?
So he comes in and he meets us, and I was awestruck. I mean, he's my favorite president.
Mhm.
He was doing a great job with this country, and he took time out of his day to come up and meet us dirty faced girls, and and we went to the opening of his exhibit, and he's up on stage, and I felt so small. I'm just a small picture, small part of the big picture.
Yeah, yeah.
of this building,
Mhm.
but it just swept me along with it, you know. And here I am in Washington D.C. This place I adore
Mhm.
Washington D.C. All the history down there, but Bill Clinton is on stage and he read part of the book that said there's a paragraph in it that said there were 139 iron workers that built the concert hall. He goes 138 men and one woman, and he said my name and asked me to stand up and
And he
be
acknowledged
recognized.
you. Yeah, look at that.
I was walking, I was floating
Mm,
on air. It was the biggest point in my life, you know,
absolutely.
career wise. And they the photographer of for the Ironworkers magazine was there, and he took a picture of me and Mr. Clinton
Mhm.
and the president of our international, Joe Hunt, and featured us. We were on the cover of the Ironworker magazine,
Yeah.
which is, I don't know, it doesn't sound like it's a big deal
It
if you're an
is a big
ironworker.
deal.
You know, there's fellows that would give their right arm to have their picture in the back with a dead animal in their
Yeah,
hand. You know,
yeah, yeah.
in here, this girl, this female,
Mhm.
on the cover of the
Yeah.
magazine, and I,
And not somebody's secretary
no,
either,
no,
somebody who
no, yeah, no, I'm
Mhm.
a vested journeyman, you
Yeah.
know, and I earned my spot there, but a lot of people didn't see it like that. There's still a lot of that good old boy stuff, you know.
Listen, it's 2021 and you'd
Mm,
think that the the Me Too movement and some other big movements, maybe even just women's lib,
yeah,
would have rocked the boat a
it
bit, but it has a
it
little
is.
bit. But I would imagine just in the 90s,
Yeah.
uh, it,
Mm.
the the jealousy
Oh,
or the like, oh, how just the how'd
they're
she
there.
get there?
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
What?
yeah. What'd you do? Yeah, who'd you
Mm-hmm.
sleep with, and all that stuff. And that's another thing where I wasn't gonna fall into that.
Yeah.
I'll be damned if I'm gonna fall into that category, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And I worked my butt off and
Yeah.
twice as hard for a lot more time just to be able to hang out, you know. And I wanted to do it so bad. It fit me. It fit my personality
Mm-hmm.
so well that there's a lot of
Well, there's
things.
that tightrope
Yeah.
experience that she got when she was a kid.
Yep.
She, learned how to walk steel beams.
Yep.
How high in the
Oh,
air?
hundreds and hundreds,
Yeah.
hundreds of feet, 300, 400
Just
feet.
walk up there
Yeah.
without
Hang
the
off the
fear.
side of the building.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
hanging. You see that you drive past these, buildings that are under construction and you see
Yeah.
these little they look like
Ants.
ants, but
Yeah.
they're full-grown people
Mhm.
walking around and you
Mhm.
were one of those
Yep.
people
Yep.
for 36 years.
My name is on the. You go into Staples Arena.
Your
And
name's
my
on there twice.
twice.
They
Yeah.
messed up and
Yeah.
gave it to you
No, no,
twice.
no. I work for two different companies.
Okay, but
Yeah.
still,
Yeah. Yeah.
the plaque makers could have been
Yeah.
like, well, it's probably the same
But
person.
I deserve to be on there twice.
You might as well. You might as well. Yeah, you got your name on two plaques at the Staples Center.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big deal for me.
Hmm.
That was a neat project. I really
Yeah.
love that project. But getting back to Mr. Clinton
Yeah.
and yeah, one of my brothers, ironworker brothers, called me when I got home and they go, "Did you get the magazine yet?" And I'm all, "No, why?" And he's going, "Put the phone down, go out to the mailbox and get the magazine." I'm, whatever, okay, okay. And I walked out to my mailbox and there was a magazine, and there I am staring back at myself with two of the most important people that I could ever think of being around, and
Hmm.
it's it was amazing. I just
Yeah, he was the current president.
yeah.
It was
Hmm.
not like the former president
No, no,
Bill
no, no,
Clinton. He
no,
was
no, no,
current
no.
president
Current
and
president.
the president of your international,
Hmm.
right? And
Yeah, and he treated me so well. He treated me like I was gold. I mean, he gave me the key to the city, loaded me up with all kinds of
yeah.
it was a different experience there than it was here in LA. Sorry, fellas, but you know, there was a lot of stuff that went on, and it was fine with me because you know what, you're not gonna beat me at this. I deserve to get out of here too,
Hmm.
and I just want a piece of it. I want to make a paycheck. I don't want to make a big name for myself. I know this looks different, but I didn't choose this. I didn't make
Hmm.
this happen. I
Yeah.
was just there.
Yeah, you showed up.
I
Yep.
just I tried to get some of those guys to go with me to Washington D.C. No, we just were there and all this stuff, and nothing's gonna happen. And then all this stuff happened, and then they got mad at me because I was there.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, that's not on you.
no.
Um, yeah, that's really cool. So what would you say your favorite building to build is?
Which which one was my
Yeah,
favorite?
what's yours?
The concert hall was
Yeah,
the funnest.
yeah.
Yeah, but I've worked down in Long Beach.
Disneyland?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
She's
yeah.
made it so that you guys can ride rides at
Safety,
Disneyland
safety. Oh,
safely.
the Matterhorn. I
The
forgot about that.
Matterhorn.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was a water ride, so we always had to go back in and replace the
Retrofit.
track. So every
Yeah.
time you're at Disneyland and it's under construction, you can't ride it. It's because we're fixing it.
Yeah, and
It
making
seems
it
like,
so that you're
yeah, but it
safe.
seems like it's always
I know,
under,
yeah, yeah. It's
but
like
we're
a
always
how old is that Matterhorn?
50 years. It was 50 years old, and
Yeah, back
yeah,
then.
yeah,
It's been 30 years
yeah,
since then.
yeah.
Yeah, so we're looking on like 80-year-old rides. So yeah, so if they're under
Yeah,
construction,
it's the
patience.
oldest ride at Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank
Yeah.
you. Perfect. So uh we fast forward a little bit. So so you did that and you just retired.
Hmm.
And where do you live now?
I live in Ellington, Florida. It's
Mm-hmm.
just up the road from Sarasota.
Yeah. Why'd
Um,
you move back?
Pardon me?
Why'd you move back?
Moved back to Florida?
Mm-hmm. Because you were here this whole time,
Yeah.
and then what happened? What happened at the end of being here?
Um, I was married to the love of my, well, he was an
One
iron.
of listen, you
Huh.
can have more than one love.
I know.
If one of them dies,
Yeah.
all right.
Just how,
He's now not here, so you can
yeah.
have another love of your life.
Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was the only man that I choose to marry.
Mm-hmm.
I waited till I was 50 years old to
Mm-hmm.
get married because I didn't want anybody taking half my pension that I worked so hard for. Hey,
Smart. It's smart.
I don't have the best luck when it comes with men.
No.
I'm not a very good. I don't judge them very well. I just, oh, yeah, you like me, so yeah, okay, take you home. But no, I wasn't gonna take it to that point because I
Mm-hmm.
work really hard for my pension and my all that. So I wasn't.
So you
If
married someone who had his own pension.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
married
that's good.
another iron worker,
Yep.
Scotty Mann, and he got cancer,
Mm.
and he was diagnosed in 2012, and
What year did he pass away? 2014 or 15?
no, it was, October 3rd at 11:54 in 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just about to have that important vote in
Yeah.
a couple of days.
Yeah. I know. It was
Yeah,
a tough one.
yeah. But anyway,
He passed away.
he passed away, and I brought him back. He was from Mississippi. I brought him back home, and
His ashes.
yeah, his
Yeah.
ashes, and we buried him there, and his mom was back there, and so there wasn't really anything holding me here to California anymore because you were grown out
Mm-hmm.
on your own and had your own life and stuff, and I was kind of left in the air, what to do, and my mom was getting up in age, so I had to make a decision to go back there and help her,
Yeah.
take care of her, for as long as I could, for as long as she
What
was
was that?
there.
What was that like to
Go home.
go home, but also to what was it like to kind of mother your mom?
Really hard.
Well, I know she wouldn't let you.
No,
But what's that like to kind of because your mom took care of you and then to be able to like turn around at the end of her
Yeah.
life and take care of her, what was that like for you?
it was great. I enjoyed it more than I thought that I would,
Yeah.
because part of the reason why I moved to California was to get away from her, because my mother, very strong-willed
Mm-hmm.
woman. I don't wonder where I get that from.
Yeah.
And we hadn't been able to spend that much time together because we were so much alike. We just bump heads, and it would just go awry. But when she got older, she didn't have anybody. My brother lost a couple of brothers, and she was there by herself. She lost her husband, and yeah, I just felt it was my duty
Yeah.
to go home and take care of her. And it was a lot of fun. We had fun. We'd go out to eat, and she lost her. She wasn't. She's really opinionated
Oh,
growing
yeah.
up, and she just softened,
Yeah.
and it was nice. It was nice. I got to know her on a whole new level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what a gift that is.
It was here at the end of life, and affirmation
Mm-hmm.
for what I do. I know, I was her baby, and I was, off on the other side of the world doing all this crazy stuff that she couldn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't really know what I was all about and never really understood what I did for a living. And there at the end, I think she got a better idea
Yeah.
of what it was, and she told me that she was proud of me. And
That's
what,
priceless.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, well, everything I ever did was to keep my mother. I wanted to make my mother happy. I wanted to make her proud of me, and stuff. And I couldn't be a nurse. I couldn't do any of that stuff because
Yeah.
you know, you know, I'll build hospitals,
You built hospitals. Yeah.
but as far
No,
no.
as soon as the blood arrives, you're out. You're
Should we tell that story?
you could.
No.
You could go ahead. My mother is okay. Also, what's your mode of transportation? You
What?
share
What?
share what kind of thing you prefer to drive around
Oh,
town?
a motorcycle, a
Yeah.
Harley Davidson.
And how long you been riding Harleys?
Probably late 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
There you
bought
go.
my first motorcycle in 1990
Mm.
and rode it all over the streets of LA back and forth to work. Because if anybody that's smart knows the only way to get around on Southern California freeways is to ride a motorcycle,
Yeah.
because you can split lanes and you can get somewhere
Yeah.
before you're 80. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I mean, it may be there when you get there, but it'll be dead and stinking. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
you get home and you don't feel like hitting your wife or kicking your dog or anything. You actually had a really nice ride home because you got to pass
That's
everybody.
everybody.
You know, it's like
Well, because we used to
doo-doo-doo.
have to do that 91 drive, the 91 freeway.
Yeah,
Anybody in
91
Southern
parking lot.
California knows the freeways around here, and one of the
Mhm.
worst ones is the
Ah.
91. So to have a motorcycle.
Hmm.
So this woman here that can climb hundreds of feet up in the air, walk along beams that are like not 2 feet wide. You gotta
Mm.
do single file, right? As you're
Mm.
like 1 foot in front of the other
Hang off
to
the side
get
of the building.
yeah, and
Mm.
ride motorcycles and all kinds of crazy stuff. Cannot stand the sight of blood. So I had my tonsils removed when I was 15 because I
Mhm.
kept getting strep throat and
Strep
it was
throat.
really bad. And then the strep throat like killed my tonsils or whatever. I had to
Yeah.
have them taken out. And I was older for having them removed, and I was so sick, and I kept throwing up, and it was really bad. And she nearly fainted in the hospital, so I had to be taken care of by another
Yeah.
family so that because there's no way she could,
I couldn't take care of her. I
she could,
felt terrible.
yeah,
And we were
physically not capable of
actually at the
watching me
doctor's
be
office,
sick.
and he was explaining the procedure.
Oh, is that what it was?
And you're sitting there and you're looking at me and like this. She said, "Mom, get this chair. Mom, sit down.
Yeah,
Get this."
just hearing about what
Oh
they'd have to do.
no,
Yeah,
just no, 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 no,
no
no,
blood and guts for you. So
no.
yeah, nursing was out for
Nursing
you.
was out. No,
Nursing was
the
out.
hospitals
Mm.
too sterile. I got to have it a little messy.
Yeah, yeah.
I like
So,
it messy.
and then your mother passed away.
September 25th, 2019.
Yeah,
So, luckily she didn't have to suffer COVID,
yeah.
and I was worried about her because she was in a um, assisted living
Mm-hmm.
facility, and we saw how badly those people fared in there for a while,
Yeah, yeah.
but she didn't have to. She had passed before COVID hit. What was that? Early 2020.
Yeah. What was that like losing your mom?
Hmm. I took my breath away. I mean,
Mhm.
it you only have one,
Yeah.
and it's final. There's that person that gave you life, and they're no longer here. They're no longer, just a phone call away or
Mhm.
a car's drive away or a plane trip away. And there's certain things that you have with your mother that you never have with anybody else. It's just, the life giving thing.
Mhm.
But just an addict, just I hate to admit it, but I'm a lot like my mother, and I think part of the reason why I'm so successful in what I do for a living is because she instilled in me to be don't take any crap.
Yeah, tenacious. She
Yeah,
was
yeah.
just.
You don't give up. You don't give up.
Mhm.
It gets a little hard. So what?
Yeah, yeah.
Just get on with it and get it done.
No, she was not a softie.
No,
No.
no, she's tough, tough,
Yeah.
tough. She'd have made a badass ironworker. I
She
guarantee.
would. She would have. I bet she would have been a foreman. I think she was out there telling people what to do and where to do it.
That's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
with a
Oh my
clipboard,
God.
I could see her.
Oh my God.
A hard hat.
She was. We were sitting around one day, and I had my hard hat. Well, I just got a new welding hood, and I had it in the house. And
Mm-hmm.
remember, I took a picture of her. She had my hard hat on
Yeah.
with my welding hood.
It's as big as
God
she
bless
was,
her.
because she was like 5'2".
Yeah, yeah. She didn't really get what I did for a living.
But she still got you,
Yeah,
even though she didn't get some of your
yeah,
choices or decisions in life. She still got
yeah,
you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, she's one of your biggest cheerleaders.
Yeah,
I
she
think
was.
it's important to have cheerleaders.
She when I first got in and things were going so hard. They were so. I felt like giving up.
Yeah.
I felt, and she always was there. She's always in my corner. Hang in there. This
Mhm.
too will pass. And
Mm.
you know, she was my biggest cheerleader. You know, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this.
Yeah.
And yeah, but part of the reason why I never,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it sounds like you've had a lot of grief in your life, and
Mhm.
so what do you, what has grief taught you?
Um, that you just get on with your life and make the best of every single day that you
Mhm.
can.
Mhm.
You owe it to life itself to do the best you can while you're here.
Yeah.
You know, you don't owe it to anybody. You owe it to yourself. You know,
Mm.
you're here. Get on with it.
Mhm.
Um, don't no, you get life is supposed to knock you down, but it's what you do when it knocks you down. You just get back up, brush yourself off, and go headlong into the wind, you know, and just make the best out of your life and don't cry about, you know, life did this to me and that did that to me. So
Yeah.
what? It's done it to everybody.
Yeah.
You know, it's what you do with it once it punches you in the face, when it
Mhm.
knocks you on the ground.
Mhm.
It's not going to beat me. You know,
Yeah.
I've been up against a whole lot of
Yeah.
worse things than just a little bit of, you know.
A little bit of adversity. Yeah.
Yeah,
So what about
adversity makes the best people.
really does build character.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I do feel like if you're someone who's experienced loss in and it can be people or material
Yes.
things or both, that great equalizer of loss, the
Mm.
people that have really experienced that in life tend to be people I can relate to, and they just usually have this depth to them that someone who's not ever lost anything they loved,
Yeah.
they just don't possess because it just comes with the coming out of the ashes
Sure.
experience.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
also because you and I also share recovery, so
Mhm.
there's also that. So how long you've been in
Praise
recovery?
God for that. Well, this time,
Hmm.
um, 2 years. It'll
Yeah.
be 2 years. It was 2 years. Doo-doo-doo. Sorry, you hit me with that. I just celebrated my 2 years when I was on vacation. That's
Hmm.
it. I got Tim's dad gave me my 2 year
Oh, that's
medallion, which
right.
was so special.
Yeah.
Um,
And your partner's
it
in
was
recovery
June. I'm
also.
sorry, June 28th.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Spacing it.
sorry.
That's right.
June,
June was a long time
June
ago.
28th. No, but 2019.
Hmm.
I got sober right right before I retired.
Yeah.
I was working on my last job, and it's what got me in trouble again. Um,
Yeah.
well, it didn't. I got myself in trouble. I can't
Yeah.
blame it on anybody. I made the
But the
choice.
disease of addiction can
Sure.
be
Oh, yeah.
powerful.
Well, the disease of addiction runs rampant through our family. You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
um, yeah. Everybody that I've known and all my relatives and aunts and uncles and grandparents, they all drank. You know, it was all just part of the culture. You know,
Mm.
everybody drank, and you know,
It's interesting that we're, I don't know, maybe they were built different and they could just drink and be jerks. But something. Uh,
well, people were more past. They didn't take any. You know, women had their place, and the men could do just about whatever they wanted to. You know,
right.
and women didn't really have a voice. But as far as the addiction goes, addiction took my father out.
Yeah.
Addiction has taken a couple of my brothers out,
Mm-hmm.
my blood brothers out, nephews I've lost
Mm-hmm.
to this disease, and it's pisses me off. You know
Yeah.
how how dare it come into our lives like this? But it's a disease. It's a
Yep.
disease. It you know you can't run from it. You have to fight it. You
Yeah.
have to every day get up and make a conscious effort because it's cunning, baffling, and
It
powerful.
sure is.
And before you know it, got me. It
Yeah.
got me again when I wasn't paying attention, and I let God fall from my life.
Yeah. Slip away. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Thinking that I had it all.
Yeah.
I can do this. I don't need all that.
But if anything, I mean, I would say you're the poster child of the person that it's never too late.
No,
No,
no. Praise God for
it's never
that.
too late
Uh,
to, get sober. It's never
no,
too late to find
find
love.
love.
It's never too late to,
My
travel
life
around.
is never been better.
Yeah.
I have such a zest, and I am so excited about my future. I'm 60-ish,
60
62.
something.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
I'm
All
good.
right.
I'm good. I'm
Go
good.
ahead.
Yeah, I figured it out in 1958. No, I'm not bashful about that stuff because I'm still here.
Yeah.
You know, I made it. I've lived my life. I battled demons. I've looked death in the face every day, and you know, bring it. You know,
Yeah.
just you never
We
give
have
up.
to be
You never.
careful to say bring it.
Hmm.
Have to be careful to tell the universe to bring it.
Oh, oh no. Well, okay.
Because yeah. Well, I've done that and
Yeah,
I've felt really assured, like, all right, I've grown. I got this.
that's true.
Okay, universe, bring it. I'm
Yeah,
ready for anything.
yeah.
And oh my
And it
God, the
brings it,
universe, it
and you're
does.
still here.
It does. And I am still here.
Yeah.
But I could have not taunted it.
Sure.
Could
Well,
have not been like,
yeah,
well,
yeah.
I can
I'm all
handle what
that.
you got.
Yeah. And all
I
that in a bag
can
of
handle
chips.
it, but I don't need to like,
Yeah.
bring it into my life.
Well,
Yeah. Thank you.
okay, that to a certain extent, don't bring it, but I don't run from it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
No, it's good.
it's there's a lot of times I should have been dead.
Yep.
A lot of times I taunted death. I taunted,
Mm-hmm.
I never taunted the devil because you just don't do that. Because he's always waiting and waiting for you. You just don't do that. You don't say, well, next thing you see me, I'm gonna be, you don't do that.
No,
You just
yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah.
And but my life is so good now.
I'd like to, yeah, I'd love to end, we still got a little bit of time,
Yeah.
but I would love to focus on the good because I have to say that I get a lot of my optimism
Mm.
from you because you've always been an optimistic
Yeah.
person, even when,
Yeah.
you've had challenges and she was a single mom
Mm.
and we were,
Struggle.
making it work, just the two of us,
Mm.
as best as we could. And because we were both growing up, I think
Mhm.
we were
Mhm.
both, I was like, I was a teenager, but you were an adult, but you were still also growing up and
Immature.
figuring out how to be, you had bought a house, like
Yeah.
you were doing grown up things, but
Yeah.
not having any idea how to do it.
No, no,
So we
nobody ever
were,
taught me.
no.
No.
So we were just trying to figure out how to,
Yeah.
how to grow up together pretty much at the
On
same
Suzanne
time.
Street.
Met Suzanne Street, yeah. So Sue and Susie on Suzanne Street,
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was on
I could
purpose.
get as drunk as I wanted to, and remember Sue and Susie on Suzanne Street. I
Oh
found my
yeah,
way home.
oh yeah.
Another.
The good old
Yeah,
Corona,
yeah.
California is
Love,
where
love
where
that. Love
it was
that.
good. It was
That was a
good.
good,
But
good time.
I like the focus, and I
Mhm.
would like to end really on the good, and
Sure.
because I do, like I said, my optimism. I am I'm like the eternal optimist,
Sure.
almost to the point where it annoys people
Sure.
because
As it should.
they want people. Sometimes people will call me and like, can you just not try and help me see the silver lining?
Yeah.
I've been asked to, keep the
Yeah.
silver lining of things to myself, which is fine.
You and your
I
unicorns go home.
Yeah, you and your rainbows, stop it. Whatever. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
stop. I'm gonna be
No.
optimistic, but
Amen.
uh, the optimism
Mhm.
and the being able to look and see the good that's come out of something, the silver lining that's in something, the lesson in something to where that, whatever, it's been
Mhm.
meaningful. So for you, like w- you said, you're at the best place in your
Yeah.
life now.
Yeah.
So what kind of things do you practice
Mm.
to have the best days?
I write a grateful list
Mm-hmm.
every morning
Yep.
that I share with my daughter.
Yep.
And that starts my day off on such a good note. It brings up,
And we've been doing that for a while.
we've been doing that
Yeah.
for a couple of years, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I look forward to, we've waned a little
Good.
bit, but yeah, every day write that just starts my day off on a really good note. And then I get up and put one pant leg on at a time and just face the day. I've always been happy.
Mm-hmm.
I've always internally been happy. It You have to make a conscious effort for it though. It just doesn't come. You have to get up and say, I'm going to be a good person today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to scream at that guy that just cut me off. I'm gonna do my best to be a good citizen and
Mm-hmm.
of the world. A good human being.
Mm-hmm.
I just am.
Yep.
I,
Yeah.
I just I just like
Gratitude
being
is
happy.
and gratitude is such a
It's
easy,
free.
it's free,
Yeah.
and it's so powerful.
Hmm.
Yep.
And
And
you pass it on to the next person.
you can
You
absolutely
make
pass it
somebody
on.
else's
Mm-hmm.
day better,
Yep. Yep.
and that makes me feel good.
Yep.
If I'd rather be happy and feel good about myself inside than be angry and vindictive because you could do that easy,
Easy.
easy.
Mm-hmm.
But it takes a little bit of effort to be happy, And it's not that hard.
No.
It's really not that hard.
Even with the state of the world, you
No.
can still find things to be happy about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What about faith? Do you have a faith practice?
Yes, I do.
No.
I do. I believe that God is my eternal Savior, and
Mm-hmm.
that's where I get a lot of my happiness
Mm-hmm.
from knowing that if I live a good life, a good Christian life, that my soul is eternal
Mm-hmm.
and live on forever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a foolish thing to believe in. It's not. I'm not being blind, thinking of some deity. I know that He lives in my life today,
Mm-hmm.
and that 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 just it's happiness that just comes with someone that has faith.
Mm-hmm.
You can't fake it.
Yeah.
You have to feel it, and you have to live it, and you have to get out there and
What are
try.
some ways that you live it?
Well, what do you mean?
Like live in that faith. What does that look like in like a practical way?
Well,
Like treating people well.
treating people well, treating yourself well, and
Mm-hmm.
and giving yourself a break because nobody's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not perfect, but I'm perfect in
She's
God's.
not.
No,
No.
but I'm perfect in God's eyes.
You are?
I'm
Yep.
I'm made in His image, and He loves me, and it's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's true, and the more that you believe it, the more that you live it, the more that the promises will be kept.
Yeah.
You, I mean, I don't believe that God is an angry God. I think that
Mm-hmm.
He loves us all, and the fire and brimstone and fear of hell. That
Mm-hmm.
was our parents' religion.
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that my God loves me. My God loves everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And He gives us free will
Mm-hmm.
and choice
Yep.
to be happy, to make the best out of our lives.
And
To
so it's like each day
each day
you've got to wake up and decide.
decide. You have
I'm
choice.
gonna be happy
Mhm.
today
Absolutely.
no matter what.
No matter what.
Or I'm gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's days where you're not able to reach the
Oh,
happiness,
yeah.
but some days
Without
you're
a doubt. Yeah.
okay is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've lived life from both sides,
Yeah.
and I've been given great opportunities that I've squandered. I've done really good with the tools that I was born with,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and if you don't have something that you're born with doing, get good at something,
Yeah.
learn something, be productive, get out there and leave your mark,
Yeah.
make it a good mark,
Yeah.
because you only get one choice.
Yeah.
You only get one go round.
I know. These microphones,
Sorry.
they jump out in front of you. You got to be careful. Yeah. What would you say your favorite thing you've learned from what's your biggest takeaway from motherhood?
Oh my goodness. Wow, you're sitting right in front of me.
Well,
I mean that no, you have it's the most important job
mm-hmm.
that a human can have, that a female can have is you give life, and that's such an awesome responsibility
Mm-hmm.
that you have a child, and you fall in love, and nothing else will ever come close to that love that a
Mm-hmm.
mother and their child has. The first time you lock eyes, the thing I've taken away is you make me immortal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Long after I'm gone, you and your children, you can look downtown and say, this is,
Yeah.
and it's you keep me alive in your heart.
Mm-hmm.
My greatest joy in motherhood is you because you're such a good person,
Mm.
and she's not paying me to say this either,
I was just
but
gonna say that. Yeah.
no, that
Yeah.
you do this great
She's not
thing.
one of my sponsors, so
No,
yeah.
no, not in that way.
Yeah.
But I'm her biggest cheerleader,
Mm.
and
You and Andrew share that
mhm,
responsibility. Yeah.
yeah. But I told you this when you were a young girl,
Mm-hmm.
that even though your father's not here with us, that he's in your heart, and he'll live on and forever,
Yeah.
and that you are here for a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
You can do great things with your life, and you will do great things. I've known it all along,
Yeah.
and I told you that, and I tried to instill that in you, that you can do anything you
Mm-hmm.
want. You played with Barbie dolls and Hot Wheels. You had that. You were exposed to everything.
Mm-hmm.
The world is your oyster,
Yeah.
and you've done nothing but good with it.
Yeah.
So that's my greatest takeaway from motherhood is to
Yeah.
see how successful you are in life.
Yeah.
And
Well, you're welcome.
you're my hero.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't need to be anybody's hero.
Oh, I think you are my hero. I wrote a I
I'm
wrote
funny.
a what was that? What grade was
I,
that when I wrote that paper about you?
oh goodness, first grade?
No,
Which one?
no, it was much later. It was in high school.
Okay.
It
Which
it
paper?
was like a paper about heroes.
Oh my goodness, I forgot about that. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was high school.
yeah.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. Well, in that picture that I took, that you wrote all that nice things about me, about your mother might wear high heels,
oh
and
yes, yes,
that
yes.
was I
Yeah,
love that.
no, you're not a makeup you
Mm.
know.
Mm-mm.
See, she was the kind of mom who could bake the best chocolate chip cookies, but then go out and change the oil
Yeah.
in the car, like it's same
Wash my hands,
afternoon.
but yeah,
Maybe wash your hands.
yeah.
She was just the mom that took on the masculine and the feminine, but had all of those anyway.
I had
But
to be
since I,
both.
yeah,
Yeah, I had to be both.
but I didn't have, I mean, I had a father figure, but I didn't have my
Yeah,
dad. But so
yeah,
you gave me that well-rounded
yeah,
experience, even just as a single mom. So, yeah, absolutely. I
yeah.
mean, she's not a
Girly
she
girl.
no, not a
Never been a
girly
girly
girl,
girl.
and that's okay.
But
I,
but my daughter is, and how does
yeah,
that happen? It's like she has all the style. I
yeah.
have I'm blue jeans and tennis shoes
Well, I'm in
kind of
yoga clothes today because this is
girl.
how I mostly live.
Yeah,
And
but still, you have a sense of style.
I do a little
I've had the
bit.
same hairstyle since I was 8.
Yeah.
You know.
On the cover of that magazine,
Yeah, you did that
you,
though.
yeah,
Yeah.
we had short
Talk
blonde
talk
hair together.
talk me into it. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
we got
and pierced.
we got pierced belly buttons. See, these are the things you do when your mom
was
is as mature as you are.
it was a bonding
It
experience.
was.
I
It
don't have my
was.
belly ring anymore. No,
No, neither
no.
do I. Neither
But
do I.
no, no,
Yeah.
no, I couldn't do all that.
Yeah. And then
Mm-mm.
being at last final thoughts on being a grandma.
Ah, ah. You get to enjoy all the stuff that you couldn't do with your own kids,
Yeah.
and send them home spoiled with, bag full of candy, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
No, he's a good kid.
he's amazing. He's amazing.
He is.
He's the center of the universe.
He is.
Yeah, he was named after this Zen, the center of the universe.
I know.
And
He's a cool
yes,
kid.
yes. I mean, he started out. He was big as a squirrel. I don't know if you told anybody he was only 3 pounds when he was born, and
Yeah.
he scared me to death because it was like, oh, this little thing, and like I get filthy at work,
Yeah.
and she stayed in the hospital with him because he had to be in this incubator because he was born too small, and I would be out there scrubbing, trying to get the dirt off me and stuff,
Yeah.
and then I have to go into this sterile environment and hold this little squirrel,
Yeah.
and
He was a little
he scared
squirrel.
me. He scared me. I was just, he was just, it was like, oh
He
my
was the
goodness,
tiniest little
he
thing. He was
was
only three
so,
pounds.
oh,
I know. Yeah.
and to see him today, you would never know he was a preemie.
I know.
It's like, no way,
Yeah.
There's no way,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and to know that he's never had meat in his life.
Mhm.
Um,
Well, he has had some meat.
has he? Well,
Yeah. Well,
this is new to me.
he went through a little phase where he was curious.
Okay.
And like, of course he would be curious. Yeah,
Sure,
go
yeah.
ahead, give it a shot.
Yeah.
And he did. When he was having like pepperoni
No
on
kidding.
pizza, or
No
he was
kidding.
having, whatever he was doing.
That's what he was talking about with the Mexican food yesterday, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
This is news to grandma.
listen, he found his way back to being, meat free,
Mhm.
just he made it that decision himself this time instead
That's
of,
good.
yeah. So
Yeah.
he wanted to see what it was like, see what all the fuss was about, and saw that, like, yeah, it tastes good, but he didn't like the way it made him feel.
Mm-hmm.
And so
He's his own man. Then.
he is his own
Yeah.
man. He's totally his own
You
man.
couldn't ask for any more than that.
Yeah, I have to say, motherhood is, is amazing.
It's so
It
fulfilling.
is. It's very fulfilling.
It's scary when you're starting out.
Yeah.
But with the help of God and luck, you
Yeah.
make it through. I mean,
Yeah.
that's all you got. That's all I can attribute it to. It
Mhm.
wasn't because they give you a manual. It's
No.
Parenthood for Dummies.
Yeah.
But
Even if they gave you Parenthood for Dummies, they would leave things out. There are things that happen in parenthood
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you just can't account for
No,
ahead of time.
no, and you can't. Nobody can tell you these
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
You can't tell you what's the best age to potty train your child, or it's everybody's got.
Yeah, I mean, they try and tell you the
Yeah,
boxes and stuff.
guidelines, but
Yeah, guidelines.
you know what? Everybody's child is different, and that's what's neat about being human because everybody's different.
Mhm.
You know, and that's exciting
Mhm.
to me. I like to appreciate human beings. You know,
Yeah.
for the good parts.
Yeah.
There's so many good humans. You know, I mean, it's the bad ones that give the rest of us a bad
I think
name.
there's more good humans than there
I
are
think
bad
so too.
humans.
Oh,
The
yeah,
bad humans just outshine. Sometimes they outshine
sure,
it,
because
but
they got bigger mouths and
yeah,
more money or whatever.
whatever.
You
But
know.
yeah. So final question: what
Mhm.
do you think is you? How do you practice joy, or what do you think about joy? Is it something you just have, or is it something that you
No,
find?
no, you choose to have joy.
Mm.
You know, I mean, you know, it's just
And how
like
do you find joy?
gratitude.
Okay, you got gratitude.
My gratitude, and living my life as honest
Mm-hmm.
as I can be.
The good old integrity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Do the right thing, even especially when nobody's looking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just you know that's the best part of being human when people have integrity.
Yeah.
You know, just doing the best thing for just you just know. You know, everybody's you know the golden rule.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be taught that.
Mm-hmm.
Every human knows the golden rule. You
Yeah.
know, do unto others. How hard is that?
Yeah.
How hard is that?
That brings you joy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
dogs.
And dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the dogs. Give me all the dogs.
Now you know where my obsession with dogs comes from.
Oh yeah.
That's why I have
I
that's why I have three.
you know, we're lucky they let us hang out with them.
I know.
We
They're
don't deserve it sometimes.
we don't deserve
Some
them.
some people don't. I do because I'm one of them.
Yeah. They do love you. They love me too.
Yeah.
Every time I go somewhere, out of town or some on vacation, I always end up with a
See, because
flock of
that's
dogs.
the honest thing.
Yeah.
They know that. They could
Mhm.
sense that.
Yeah.
They know when you're scared of them. They know
Mhm.
when you're. They know, just know. And here, you know, you
Yeah.
can't hide from a dog. The dogs are very honest.
Yes,
Yep.
they are.
They're
Much
very.
more honest than people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The best people I know are dogs.
Yeah, exactly. So I appreciate you coming and doing this.
Thanks for asking
This
me.
was a lot of fun.
It's a big deal for me.
Yeah, a big
Yeah.
deal, and
Yeah.
it's my show, and you're here, and
Yeah. I get to hang out with you for walks. I don't get to see you very often.
I know, and we
We're
get
on
to
different
talk.
coasts.
I know,
Yeah.
but
We'll be back out next summer with the motorcycles.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
gonna ride the coast.
I won't be riding my motorcycle. I don't have one.
No.
Yeah, but
No. No, we
yeah,
rent one.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I hope you have a good, drive back across.
Oh
I know
lordy.
there's lots of crazy
Yeah.
weather.
Yeah, but I have a boyfriend who, he's
Yeah,
just
you were just
God bless
saying
him.
that he's blessed.
He is.
And
But
his
he well, he's never been to California and he's never driven on our freeways.
yeah,
But it doesn't phase him.
yeah,
You know,
it's fine.
as far I've tried to intimidate him. Oh, it's LA traffic. But he didn't drive it for 40 years and have
Yeah,
to make a living getting and going. You know,
not
it's half
traumatized
your
by it.
life. No, he's
Yeah.
not. He's not. He's just it's just another highway. You know.
Okay.
Okay,
It's the 405. It's not just another highway, but okay.
wake me when we get home.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Well,
he's really good. Has a lot of patience
no, and
in him.
he'll need it
Yeah.
with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. I know I'm married to someone with a lot of patience too, and who's my, is
Hey.
one of my biggest fans. So
Yeah.
you got to get one of
God
those.
bless him.
You got to get a handful of people who really, really believe in you and are
Oh,
willing to love you
nobody's
until
in
you
this.
love yourself.
Yeah.
Kind of deal,
Yeah.
or just love the messy parts of you.
Sure.
So
Sure. Because everybody's messy.
yeah, but
Everybody's
it's
got.
nice to know that in your 60s you can find love. I think
Wow.
that's really important for people that might feel hopeless
Surprised me.
in this pandemic. I know 20 or 30-year-olds that are having a hard time finding love,
Mhm.
and
I
it's
wasn't
just
really looking for it.
I know you
That's
weren't
what
looking for it,
happened.
but I think that's when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't looking for it either. I was not, I mean, I wanted it, but I wasn't actively seeking it out, and it found me.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think that's the best way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, I feel so blessed. I am so. I'm not thinking I'm blessed. I know I'm blessed.
yeah, yeah,
To have found a man like the man that loves me.
yeah, yeah.
With all my warts and everything.
You seem like two little peas in a pod.
We
So
just have fun. We're
it's good.
awesome. Everywhere we go, people say oh, you guys are awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, we are.
yeah, we are. We
we're
are. Yeah,
We're
it's good. All right. Well, thank you, Mom.
You're welcome,
You're
sweetie.
welcome. Yep. Thank
Oh,
you. I love you.
I love you.
And I hope you guys have enjoyed
Yeah.
today's episode with her name is Sue,
Mhm.
Susan, and
Susan, man.
Susanna.
Yeah.
Okay.
Figure.
Yeah. So,
Not
um,
Junior, just Susanna.
not Junior, yeah. But this is Susan, it's my mom, and she's great, and I'm really glad that you
Yeah.
guys welcomed her in on today's
Yeah.
episode
It's
of,
been great.
my best life ever, and, the best day of my life ever, sorry, and
Mhm.
it's, now you guys get a little bit of a
Yes.
peek into, oh,
The insanity that was Susanna's
genetics at
childhood.
least, and that nature versus nurture thing.
Mm,
She's all of those things for me. So
yeah.
it was really important for me to share that part of my life with you guys and let you in just even a layer deeper than last week. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to find me on social media, I'm on Instagram at Susannah Sprague 00. I also have my coaching website, which is www.joyfulmindscoaching.com. There's two L's in that joyful, and there's a Z in minds. So find me there. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll see all of you there.
She's amazing.
Now, glutathione is a big word, but it's the body's own master antioxidant. So it's a scavenger for free radicals, for bacteria, and what's relevant now, viruses. This is new to the marketplace. There's no other product on the market that has the ingredient NACET.
And basically, NACET increases the production of that glutathione that is in our body already to strengthen and enhance our immune system and keep it strong. Elevated sense of well-being. Supports muscle strength and endurance. Cognitive function. Powerful liver support. Energy. Helps blood sugar regulation. Superior bioavailability of key ingredients.
One of your best defenses against COVID is a strong immune system. Taking GSH Plus as a daily supplement does all that. And now we have the product out on the marketplace.